The cameras flash, the crowd freezes, and just like that, a single business move ignites a Hollywood firestorm.
For Vogue Williams and Spencer Matthews, a marriage that seemed unbreakable was suddenly the industry's new obsession.
Welcome to StarScope Report, where we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
Okay, let's unpack this one. A strategic career maneuver by Spencer Matthews has just kicked off some intense, immediate divorce buzz around his marriage to Vogue.
Yeah, they were the picture of a modern power couple, right? Professionally locked in, personally stable.
Until they weren't.
Exactly. I mean, this is a perfect case study in celebrity PR. It was a calculated business decision that was probably totally necessary for his future growth.
But it generated this massive short-term crisis in how the public sees them.
Totally. The signal they sent to the business world was clear, but the media they misinterpret it completely.
So today, we're going deep. We've got sources detailing the exact move, the fallout, and the couple's pretty strong defense. The real question is, was this professional split a necessary evil, or was it a major miscalculation that just blew up their joint brand?
Let's get into it. For years, their whole brand strategy was synergy.
Right. They shared an agent, they had that huge joint podcast, and they always presented a united front.
And the media loved that narrative. It makes sense, you know? Professional unity feels like proof of marital stability.
But earlier this year, that entire structure just dissolved.
Yeah.
And the speculation started immediately because Spencer Matthews made what some sources called a complete professional restructuring.
Yeah, that's where you have to start, the agent split. Spencer, he dissolved his relationship with Money Management.
That's the London firm that managed both of their careers together.
Right. And then he signed exclusively with YMU. And for anyone who doesn't know, YMU is one of the biggest talent powerhouses out there. We're talking people like and Tech, Claudia Winkleman.
And our sources didn't hold back. They called the move staggering and very telling. But, you know, for someone listening who doesn't follow talent management that closely, why is switching from a joint career firm to a giant like YMU such a big deal?
Well, it signals a complete shift in priorities. A joint agent is great for synergy, right? Booking couple appearances, selling joint brand deals, all of that.
Stuff that relies on them being a couple.
Exactly. YMU, on the other hand, they specialize in elevating these ultra-high-profile singular brands. Spencer is rebranding himself as a serious athlete, an entrepreneur, the CEO of Clean Liquor Co.
So it's less about Vogue and more about Spencer needing an agency that can handle, like, massive corporate sponsorships and global deals.
Yes, an agency that can handle the logistics of him being a serious entrepreneur and athlete, not just a reality TV personality anymore.
Which makes sense when you think about his biggest project.
Project C7. I mean, the plan is to complete 7 full triathlons across 7 continents in just 21 days. That's a massive solo undertaking. You need a dedicated team for that.
Yeah. And if you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
So that's part 1 of the split. The second part was the end of their podcast, Spencer in Vogue.
Which was hugely successful. But he wrapped that up back in January, saying he needed to pursue other business interests.
And crucially, he was really candid about it. He just admitted, frankly, that he didn't enjoy it anymore.
Oof, that's honest.
It is, but in the world of celebrity PR, that honesty just reinforces the other narrative, which is, I'm prioritizing my solo ambition over our successful joint project.
So you've got the agent split and the podcast ending. Together, it just screamed to the world that their operations were officially no longer joined up.
And that leads right into the fallout. Because this calculated career move immediately created a very, very visible problem for Vogue.
And that's not even the wildest part. This is where the tension really ratchets up. Vogue is currently in the 25th series of ImACelebrity. And as you know, for any celebrity on that show, the biggest moment is walking across that famous bridge at the end and being met by your spouse. It's TV gold.
Spencer Matthews, because of his professional decision, will not be there. The timing is just, it's impossible. His triathlon challenge, Project C7, ends on December 6th.
The ImACelebrity final is on December 7th.
So logistically, there is just no way. He can't get from whatever continent he finishes on to Australia in time to meet her on that bridge.
And that highly public, unavoidable absence just amplified the whole separation story right when the media spotlight was at its absolute brightest.
It's the ultimate physical symbol of their professional split. He's literally demonstrating that his athlete CEO brand takes priority over the traditional spousal support role in her biggest TV moment.
Okay, but let me challenge that a bit. The ImACeleb exit is, as you said, career gold. Is the reward from Project Cessation really worth the PR hit of so publicly choosing a physical challenge over being there for her? That feels like a major miscalculation.
It's a fair point, and it's definitely the easiest way for the media to frame it. But I think for Matthews, Project 7 is the foundation of his entire new brand. It's about commitment, endurance, seriousness.
So if he canceled it,
If he postponed or canceled it, he would undermine the very thing he's trying to build. He's betting that the long-term, high-value solo brand is worth the short-term negative headline.
and Vogue is the one dealing with the immediate heat from that bet. She had to address this whole storm on her own podcast, My Therapist Ghosted Me.
Yeah, and her response was just pure frustration. She slammed the idea that they were headed for a breakup just because they were spending time apart. She asked, "Do we have to be sewn together now to show that we're a united front?"
She called the gossip cruel and baseless, and even brought up how it could affect their kids at school, which shows you how personal this whole thing has become. It really raises an important question, right? Why does professional independence in a high-profile marriage automatically make the media think it's a personal failure?
And that question leads us to the only real defense they have. The only way to fight that narrative is to show overwhelming evidence of personal stability. You have to look at the facts of the marriage itself to see why their denials are actually credible.
Okay, so the relationship started back in 2017 on a reality show, The Jump, which, usually screams showmance.
It does, but their start was different. Vogue actually found Spencer's attempts to pursue her strange at first. It suggests the relationship grew organically, despite being on TV. It wasn't an instant thing.
Then the wedding happened fast, June 2018. But it was super private, held at his family's huge estate in Scotland. Not the big celebrity wedding you'd expect.
And the reason for that rush is the aha moment here. The thing the media often forgets is that Vogue was 7 months pregnant.
Right. Her wedding dress had to be made in just 7 days to fit her. So that quick, private ceremony was about necessity.
Exactly. It wasn't about wanting a small wedding. So when you hear them talk about renewing vows later, it's about correcting that rushed experience, not fixing a broken marriage.
Which brings us to their family, the core anger. They have 3 young kids, Theodore, Gigi Margaux, and Otto James.
And the names are so intentional. Otto James is named after Spencer's older brother, James Matthews, who is married to Pippa Middleton. There's a blending of traditions, too, with the christenings. It all shows deep family commitment.
And you have to layer that on top of Spencer's very public redemption arc. I mean, we all remember him from Made in Chelsea and his abrupt exit from ImACeleb back in 2015 after admitting to steroid use.
He's actively worked to reposition himself. He talks all the time about how marriage and fatherhood shifted his focus from that volatile past to building something of real value.
That story lends a lot of authenticity to his denials now. He even posted this really emotional message while she was in the jungle, saying how he missed her and that she helped him become a better person.
It just makes their consistent denials, like back in March when Vogue said they were happily married and in love, it makes them all feel very credible.
Okay, but this brings us to the most confusing part of this whole story. The vow renewal paradox. Headlines are all over the place saying they're planning a second wedding to shut down the divorce rumors. It just seems contradictory.
It is, and it's a perfect example of how the media can twist a long-term goal into an immediate crisis. This is where it gets really interesting.
So where did this vow renewal idea even come from?
It was a long-term aspiration. Vogue had mentioned, maybe doing something for their 10-year anniversary around 2028 to make up for the rushed first wedding. It was positive PR, basically saying we're planning a decade ahead.
So the media grabbed a 5-year plan and turned it into an imminent second wedding that has to be happening right now to save the marriage.
Precisely. And because of that misinterpretation, the couple had to issue a hard correction. Vogue recently gave specific denials late this year, emphasizing there are absolutely no immediate plans to renew vows. The marriage is fine.
That's actually brilliant crisis management. You float the positive idea to reassure people, but then you have to slam the brakes before the media creates a fake event that you'll fail to deliver on.
They knew if the media kept running with a 2026 vow renewal story and it didn't happen, the next headline would be "Canceled Second Wedding," which just fuels the fire all over again.
So what stands out to you when you step back from all this? For me, the evidence points to a really resilient marriage. It's anchored by their family, Spencer's whole transformation, but they are very deliberately carving out professional independence.
And the divorce buzz is just the predictable short-term PR cost of that decision. What Matthews and Williams are doing is testing a very modern model. Can a power couple sustain their brand by intentionally growing two separate, super ambitious solo brands?
Instead of just relying on the easy joint brand.
Right. That tension between individual ambition and maintaining that stable public image, that's the real story here. It's not about marital problems.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.